If your calls go to voicemail, the repair is already off the rails. Shops use silence to buy time, while they chase a diagnosis, wait on a wrong part, or reprice the job after finding strip bolts or frame rust. Today, I'll take you from the bay to the front desk and decode the storytelling gap that keeps you in the dark. You'll learn how to spot whether it's backlog, mismanagement, or a legitimate parts delay, and the one request that forces a real update without burning the relationship. Before we move on, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Your phone lights up right when they said they'd call, you swipe, and it goes to voicemail. That timing is the tell. It means the story changed behind the bay door, and no one wants to say it out loud yet. Inside, the tech is staring at a problem that doesn't match the paperwork you signed. The estimate promised a quick turn. The car disagrees. Walk into the bay and you'd see why. The car's on a lift. The pan is off or the shield is down, and a fast job just turned sticky. A tech weighs two bad options. Call now and trigger a requote with a higher number and a longer clock, or buy an hour to see if this can be fixed without dragging you into it. Silence wins that vote more than you'd expect. Here's how the math flips. A simple oil pan reseal on a high-mileage car becomes a mess when two bolts shear. Getting them out takes heat, careful drilling, and thread repair. None of that lives in a 2-hour estimate. The tech tries a safe extraction, maybe reaches for a stud remover, maybe preps a helicoil. That's an hour or 3 with no new line item to point at yet. So your update gets pushed until there's either a clean fix or a number they can defend. Shops don't like calling 3 times with a stack of small problems that sound like excuses. They prefer one neat answer with a final price and a plan. That preference turns into a stall the moment scope expands. Think about a transmission seat that only shows once the splash shield is off. The service writer can't quote it blind. They need part numbers, availability, and a manager to bless any goodwill. Until those pieces line up, the phone stays silent. Itemized, time-stamped updates would calm most people, but they get skipped when the narrative is messy, especially if work already crept past the original authorization. That quiet gap often matches the time it takes to price a gasket kit, weigh a discount, or decide if the shop absorbs a snapped fastener they caused. The no call is a pause to reprice, assign responsibility, and decide what to admit without lighting a fuse. So when your ringback never happens, read it for what it is. The math flipped, and they're building a single story they think you'll accept. But not every silence comes from damage. Sometimes the problem itself refuses to show up on command. Silence gets worse when the car stops misbehaving the moment it rolls into the bay. Electrical and intermittent faults don't follow a neat script. You want a clear update? The shop wants a repeatable symptom. Without it, every sentence feels like a guess, and that's where the vagueness starts. Let's say your car stalls once a day, but idles perfectly at the shop. The tech checks fuel pressure, verifies spark, scans codes, and wiggles harnesses. Nothing spikes, nothing drops, nothing points to a single failure. They can't sell a part or a plan on maybe, so they add time. More drive cycles, more heat and cool periods. The car plays nice and the phone stays quiet. Here's the choice they hate. Do they call and say, "We don't know yet," or do they start swapping the usual suspects hoping the symptom goes away? Either way, credibility takes a hit. If they admit uncertainty, it sounds like they're lost. If they gamble on parts, one miss becomes 2, and the story gets harder to defend. That's why you get vague timelines instead of specifics. A classic trap is the crank sensor that only drops out at heat soak. On the lift, it reads fine. On the road after a hot shutdown, it hiccups. Now the cycle begins. Test drive, let it sit, recreate temperature, log data, try again. The front desk can't translate waiting for it to fail into a clean ETA you'll accept. So updates thin out while they chase a clean capture. Real diagnosis takes tools and time. Freeze frame data can show exactly what the engine saw during a hiccup, but only if the fault sets. Parasitic draw tests mean the car sits overnight with a meter while modules sleep and wake. Oscilloscopes track sensor waveforms that a simple scan tool can't, and getting a meaningful trace might take multiple sessions. None of that fits an original 1-hour estimate. So calls pause until the evidence justifies more labor. Then there's the intermittent CAN bus, short from a corroded connector. The only way out is isolation. Unplug one module at a time, watch network traffic, and narrow the suspect list. Saying we're still isolating sounds like stalling, so they say less until they can point to the exact connector. Some shops shortcut with a parts cannon. When early swaps don't fix it, silence grows. At that point, they're collecting proof to support a diagnostic charge, a higher estimate, or even a warranty claim. The quiet is a shield. Time to test, fail, retest, and build a story that won't sound incompetent. And when the person who owes you that story isn't even on the clock anymore, the front desk can't rescue the call. Why does the front desk dodge specifics? Because they often don't know, and they can't get a straight answer fast enough to sound confident. You call for an update, the service writer glances at the screen, and all they have is a vague "in progress." No timestamps, no notes about what's actually been done. The silence starts there. Your assigned tech might have been pulled midstream to a rush job or sent home sick. The repair order is half written with shorthand only they understand. Now another tech is supposed to pick it up, but they won't touch it without clarity. The service writer tries to bridge the gap, but the notes don't say which bolts are torqued, what parts are installed, or what measurements were taken. You get a soft promise instead of a status. Management tells you end of day, but the car hasn't moved bays in hours. Admitting that means revealing the schedule fell apart. So the desk stalls, hoping the car advances before you call back. That's how the timeline slips without anyone saying it out loud. Here's a real chain reaction. A timing belt job lands at noon. The senior tech who started your brake job gets reassigned. Your repair order bounces to a junior tech, then to another. Nobody owns the update, and the front desk won't guess. The longer it ping-pongs, the quieter the phone gets. Shops without clean handoffs make this worse. No bay logs, no time-stamped progress photos, no reliable parts ETA tracking. Without those tools, the desk can't prove progress or forecast the next step. Guessing invites conflict, so they stop talking until they have something solid. Now add a part snag. The wrong rotor or belt shows up. The correct part is 2 days out. A rental or discount needs a manager's approval, and that manager is off-site. The front desk can't commit, can't authorize, and can't promise, so they wait.